Okay.
Whoa.
So the first thing we got to do is got to get it out far enough to drop the rudders down.
Okay. So. Wow, that's cool. Ow.
Okay. Now it's important when you're sailing to know the wind direction.
Yeah.
Okay? The wind feels like it's coming from out here. And you can see that. Okay, so the wind's kind of coming from off this way, it looks like, because that rope in the front's being pushed. Why don't you hop up right up here.
Like climb up this way?
Climb up. Be careful not to put pressure here because this will tear right out if you do. Just have a seat. Butt right there. You want to sit as far back on the catamaran as possible because the front will go down if you're not careful. Now I'm going to try and snap these rudders in. Actually, I'm going to head this into the wind a little bit so we're not going anywhere yet. So if you're ever trying to get a hold of the boat and you're having trouble controlling it,
Yeah.
you just want to face the head into the wind, because head into wind depowers the boat. Okay, I'm locking the rudders down. I'm going to come in, and I'm going to get in on the opposite side from where you are. Okay, now, what you want to do, since the wind's coming in from there, we want to, this is called the traveler. We want the traveler to be pulled tight, not all the way, but we want the traveler to be in about 2/3. Now watch when this boom swings. Yeah, as the boom
That's
swings.
what they meant.
Yep. So now, okay, it's trying to push us the other way. We're going straight back to the. I'm just going to sheet this by hand real quick until we get turned back. And now the dog is trying to come out. Call the dog in, please. As soon as we get a decent wind, I'm trying to figure out where all the ropes are. Okay. Okay. Does not want to cooperate. Of course, the wind shifts just as we go. Okay. So this is called the main sheet. So the main sheet pulls the sailing. The traveler pulls the main sheet. So you kind of want your main sheet out about halfway. These are cleats here. Pull the rope down and it locks it into place. Put that in and lock the traveler right where it is. Okay. This is the main sheet. This is what powers the boat. Notice we're moving into the wind. I'm trying to get us. Now watch that boom if it moves around. This wind is fighting me right now. Because it was coming from that way, now it's coming from that way. So anytime the wind switches, it creates havoc because your boat will actually do what's called a stall. And when it stalls, that means just like when a car stalls, you got to get it running again. Once we get under some power. Oh, that's funny. No wind.
That made no sense.
You can use the rudder to power yourself if you have to. Get going. There goes the Traveler. Now the Traveler, you should keep in the hand that has the rudder. So if I've got the rudder here, I should keep the Traveler here. The main sheet, you keep in the opposite hand.
Okay, now
The Traveler, if you've got it set right, you can leave it cleated. That means locked into the cleat like this is. Notice my main sheet is not cleated. To cleat the main sheet, I have to pull up, like I just did. See how it went into the cleats? Take it out of the cleats, you just snap the rope down. And what that allows you to do is, especially if you're under a heavy wind, you want to be able to unsheath the sail quickly. So you just want it to run through your fingers. So you just hold it. If it starts to blow too hard and you start getting too much speed and you get scared, just push your arm in a little bit or let it go, and it'll swing the boom out and it'll depower the sail. And there's no wind again. It's because I'm on the boat now. As soon as I take the boat back and put it away and start eating lunch, the wind will come in again. But anyway, this is how sailing works. You go, dang, look at that, 20-mile-an-hour wind, let's get out there. You get out there, the wind goes, nope, sorry, psych. It's happened this way every time I've had this boat out so far. Let's see. There we go. All done. And here we go. We're on our way. Now notice how far back our hulls are right now, how deep. So I'm going to scoot slightly forward. Okay, now we've got a bit of a breeze. Pull the Traveler in. Now the tighter you pull the sail in, the more you pull the Traveler in, the faster the boat's going to go. Notice we're not going very fast. That's why I can pull the main sheet in, I can pull the Traveler in, and we're not going very fast because there's almost zero wind right now. I don't know what happened to the wind we had, but sailing doesn't like me very much. And then it's just steering. Now, here's how the wind works. You can go, this boat particularly does not sail into the wind well at all. Okay? Some boats can sail into the wind better. Right now, the wind feels like it's coming from that direction, roughly. So we're sailing almost into the wind, not quite. Actually, the way it's blowing the sail, it looks like it's coming from that direction. It's just real hard. We might be directly into the wind, actually, which might be why we're not going anywhere. So I'm going to turn a little off wind, and you'll see the sail come around. Just be careful, don't let it smack you. Okay, so now the wind is coming from over my right or my left shoulder. So this is what we call a broad reach. Beam reach is when the wind is coming directly across the boat. That's how you will get the fastest speed. If the wind is directly to your back, it's pushing the sail this way. The sail acts like an airfoil, and it will actually push you that way. So you want to have, for the most speed, you want to have the sail, or you want to have the wind to your back. If you're just looking to go somewhere, and you're like, well, I want to go over there, you're going to have to sail in a zigzag pattern to keep that wind at the right position. It's not moving us anywhere right now. Let's see if we can't turn this boat around, because I just can't feel where the wind's coming from. We had wind and it's gone already. And each time you change direction, when you change to the opposite wind direction, it's called tacking. So if the wind's coming from here, and we're going this way, but then we want to change direction and go that way, so the wind's coming in from here, we would have to tack the boat over, and tacking is where you lose all your speed. So you'll be cruising along at 10 knots, and then you'll want to change direction, so you'll tack the boat. You'll drop down to like 1 knot. And if you stall completely down to 0 knots, you lose control of the rudders and everything. You can't steer the boat because it's not moving. If the boat isn't moving, you can't steer it. So one thing you can do when you tack the boat is you can do like I'm doing right now. You can manually grab the sail and pull it. I wish we had just a little more wind. Light wind is a good wind to learn how to sail in, but this wind is too light. The wind we had while I was eating lunch was perfect, but I was eating lunch. Alright, well, since there's 0 wind, or almost no wind, I'm just going to pull the sheets all the way in so that we can harness whatever wind there is. Try anyway. And if you get stuck and there's no wind, you just wait, or you pull the paddle off of the rig that way. Why is the wind wanting to turn us now? Okay, so the wind's coming from over your shoulder. So right now the wind is going to be pushing this way, pushing into this airfoil, which will send us out that way. So now you can look back and you can see the direction. And now we've kind of lost our wind again. So this wind can't decide what direction it wants to go. It tends to flop back and forth out here quite a lot. Oh, there we go. Now we got a little up. So I'm going to try and see my wind indicator?
Yeah.
The string? I'm going to try and keep that wind indicator going in that direction. That will give us the most speed. Since we have almost no wind, having a little bit of speed is good. And you can tell how fast you're going because I've got a GPS.
Is that what that's really called?
What?
Wind indicator?
Well, that's what I'm using it as. It's called a string. No. The string is my wind indicator, but I can't remember what those lines off the front of the mainstay are called. So we're going to try and get some satellites here. Okay. Yeah, see the sail can decide which direction. Now, if we get too stiff of a wind and we start to flip the boat, I have to snatch this traveler, and if the boat goes over, it goes over.
So what do I do when that starts to happen?
Swim to the boat. You mean when it starts to happen?
Like if the boat starts to flip over, what do I do?
You get to the side that's coming up.
Okay.
So in other words, if we're sailing and the wind's coming over your shoulder like it is now, then you would want to lean out as far as you can that way to ballast the boat. Okay. I'm going to try and turn us because the wind is coming in from a different direction now, and now there's nothing. Now it's kind of coming in from over my shoulder again, almost. Yeah, we're going 0 knots. So here's our speed indicator. So the top one tells us how fast we're going, 0 knots. The bottom one tells us our average speed, 0.8 of a knot. And then the next one is max speed. That's the fastest we've gone since I reset it. 11.4 knots, which is, that's when it starts to get really fun. And then my odometer says we've gone 1.6 knots. So I've had the boat out and back, and it has gone 1.6 knots. So you ready to take the controls?
What?
You ready to take the controls? Okay. I'm going to swing this rudder to throw it out that way, you need to reach over and pick it up and keep us going straight in that direction.
Oh,
All right?
okay.
Ready? There you go, grab it. Pull it. Oh, turn us. Keep it straight. Get us back going that way.
That way.
Nope, turn the other way. Other way.
Right?
Yep, there you go.
That's right.
The rudder works kind of opposite the way you think it works.
Oh, yeah, there's
So you don't have to turn it too much. Now that we're kind of where we want to go towards where that truck is. We want to head in that direction. And now that we're kind of headed in that direction, we should be able to keep a decent wind. There's a little bit of a breeze, so we'll keep us moving at least a little bit. But see, you're kind of turning the rudders too hard now. Get them straight back out. There you go. A little more. There you go. Perfect. So that's right there. Now we're going this slow, and you're that close to the edge, you can grab right onto this and just let the rudder bar hang if it's more comfortable. That way you can kind of lean on that, hold yourself up. I just don't want to go too much further back on the boat. It's starting to sink this hull. Okay, look at our course. It's a lot easier to steer when the boat's moving. And oh, this one definitely not. Oh yeah, this is moving 1.3 knots. Probably backwards. The sail can't get it up in.
a lot of waves.
What's that?
Later those things.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. It happens. Would be nice right about now. Yeah, we got out here a little ways. The worst part is when you make it out this far in 10 minutes and then the wind stops and then